Good morning, children. Okay, in the previous video, we had studied how Hitler or Germany got defeated in World War II. Now we are going to deal with Hitler's way of building the youth of Germany. Youth means young generation of Germany. How he did so, how he started brainwashing the people by provoking them, by making them to believe in the superior race. No, so racism, it was started, racism, it was started by Hitler in Germany. What was that? So let us study about this now. It was a clear, bright day in 1942 when several German children saw four-car wolf fly over a cornfield in Bavaria. They saluted to German fighter planes. Okay, so there were these were the children who saluted the German fighter planes in 1942. So who are these children? These children didn't go to any ordinary school. So they were part of the Deutsches Jungvolk, German youth, especially set by the Nazi regime in 1930. So who are these children? These children were not any normal children. They belonged to the great Nordic Aryan race of Nordic German Aryan race of Germany. So these children, they didn't go to any ordinary school. For them, there were special schools named Duchess Jungvolk. Duchess means German and Jungvolk means youth. So again, both these words are German words, so we should pronounce them in that way. So Duchess Jungvolk, they belong to, this means German youth. Especially it was set by the Nazi regime in 1930 to train the young generation in the military and all. Okay, so all German boys aged 10 to 14 years were a part of German youth or Jungvolk. Here, they learned to differentiate between friendly and enemy aircrafts. They also learned why a pure Aryan race was required to keep their country safe. So here, children, they used to learn to differentiate between friendly aircraft and enemy aircraft. This knowledge they got in the school. And they also learned why pure Aryan race was required to keep their country safe. So, pure Aryan. So how India has casteism, different kinds of caste are there in India. In the same way, Germany also has different kinds of caste. We already had learned about Jews, Poles, Gypsies. Okay, so these three Jews, Poles and Gypsies, they were low caste in Germany, while Nordic Aryan or Aryan, this was the superior caste. Okay, and only these children, for these children, these schools were made by the Nazi Germany. Okay, and over there it was marked, imprinted in their brain that why pure Aryan race was required to keep their country safe. Their textbooks were filled with anti-Semitic stereotypes. Anti-Semitic means again anti-Jewish, anti-Poles, anti-Gypsies. Their textbook was all filled with all that stuff just to have the impression on their brain. They were encouraged to be mentally and physically tough and play combat sports. Emotional weakness was frowned on as they swore their loyalty to Hitler's. So or again the aircrafts and Nordic Aryan and anti-Jewish and sentiments, everything, they learned all those things along with how to be mentally and physically tough. To deal with this, they used to play combat sports. Combat means war sports. Okay, so in the third image you can see these are German kids. Okay, so they used to they play combat sports to make themselves mentally and physically tough. Emotional weakness had no place in these schools, and in these schools children swore their loyalty, they pledge their loyalty to Hitler. They dreamt of becoming Nazi soldiers to defend the Third Reich. So what kind of dreams these children had? They dreamt of becoming Nazi soldier. You can see in the first image, Hitler is praising this child. Okay, why? Because he is ready to be the part of Nazi soldiers to defend the Third Reich, the Hitler's government. These young folks helped Hitler ensure that German children were schooled in the Nazi way of thinking from their childhood. When the boys were between 14 to 18 years age, they joined the Hitler Youth, a paramilitary organization established since 1922. By 1930, it had enrolled 25,000 students in that. So what happened after 14 years of age? These children, they joined Hitler Youth. What is this Hitler Youth? This is a paramilitary organization. Paramilitary means half of it was not official. Okay, so it was unofficial military organization where these children were they joined in between the age of 14 to 18. And it was established in 1922, and by 1930 it had enrolled 25,000 students in it. So these boys were selected to become Aryans, supermen who would fight as faithful soldiers of the Third Reich. So what they were termed as Aryans, supermen, okay, and they promised that they would be faithful soldiers of the Third Reich. They were trained in weapon usage, assault and basic tactics. The concept of war was glorified and the concept of democracy was condemned. So here they got the training of weapon usage, assault and basic tactics, how to fight. Okay, war tactics were taught to them, and the concept of war was glorified. Okay, glorified means highlighted, and the concept of democracy was condemned. It was deleted. Democracy was not there. So aggression and violence were promoted as tools for eliminating anti-Nazi and anti-Aryans German citizens. So what these students ultimately learned to be aggressive and to be violent towards those people who were trying to eliminate a Nazi, who were trying to eliminate Aryans German citizens. So these children got these lessons in this age. After the age of 18, the German youth that did not do well joined the labor service, where they were asked to serve the armed forces or the Nazi government. So after the age of 18, the students who did not do well in the Hitler Youth, what they used to do, they would be the part of labor service, where they were asked to serve the armed forces or the Nazi governments. Ultimately, you do well or you don't do well, you have to serve Nazi government. So while the top scorers, the students who did not do well, they joined the labor service, and the students who did well, okay, what they did, they were the top scorers, okay, and they channeled their energies towards war practices in the Nazi army. So both the parts were ultimately serving the Nazi government. One for the Nazi government, one for the Nazi army. Okay, now this was all about boys. What about girls? So Nazi girls were schooled in the Nazi League of German Girls to become good mothers and nurture the Aryan supermen. So this was the Hitler's policy. So Hitler believed in the age-old gender divide. Men were warriors and women were homemakers. So Hitler didn't believe that women should stand shoulder to men and they should also fight. No. Hitler believed that girls should get proper education and they should become good mothers and they nurture only Aryan supermen. Nurture means they should give birth to Aryan supermen. For that, they needed to marry Aryan supermen. Okay, so Hitler believed in the age-old gender divide. Men were warriors and women were homemakers. Girls were taught to get married at a young age, keep a good home and have as many Aryan children as possible. So Hitler was not worried about the population of Germany. He allowed these girls to marry only Aryans, German Nordic Aryans. Okay, these girls were allowed to marry only German Nordic Aryans, and he allowed them to produce as many children as they could. This would ensure a continuous supply of strong soldiers and workers to expand the Nazi Germany. What was his strategy? Why did he allow to do so? Because to increase the strong soldiers, the supply of strong soldiers and workers to expand the Nazi Germany. Condition was the girls should marry the Aryan supermen, Nordic Aryan, and then only they can give birth to Aryan children, to increase and expand the Nazi Germany, Nazi army. Newly married couples got government loans for each. So to implement this, to attract the girls and boys towards this, what he did, he started using his plans. Newly married couples got government loans for each child they had. Okay, they didn't need to pay back 25% if of the loan. Sorry, it is of the loan. 4 children meant the entire loan was free. What was this policy? The newly married couples, they got the government loan. Okay, if they had one child, they will be free from 25% of the loan. They should not pay for the 25% of the loan. If the couple had 4 children, then the entire loan was free for them. So this is how he attracted the couples to have more children. Okay, the number of children, that much percent of loan was free for them. Okay, that was his strategy. So August 12 was Hitler's mother's birthday, and each year on this day he awarded the Motherhood Cross to women who had given birth to the largest number of children. Oh my god, it was his second strategy. What was that? So 12th August was Hitler's mother's birthday, and on this day every year he awarded Motherhood Cross, the Motherhood Cross, to those women who had more children. Sorry. How it was? The Gold Cross went to women who had produced 8 children. Silver was for 6 children, and bronze was for 4 children. So obviously women would be attracted to have more children, to have this reward from the Hitler. However, there were those who didn't comply or fit into Hitler's plan. Children who were weak, disabled, challenged, or disinterested were expelled. So children who were weak, who were mentally, physically challenged, or they were not interested in this army and all, okay, they were expelled. They were not in the Hitler's favorite list. Women who maintained contact with Jews, Poles, or Russians were put in trucks and paraded through the town with shaved heads to shame them. So women who kept their relationship with Jews or Poles or Russians, their heads were shaved. You can see in the second image. Okay, and they were paraded in the truck through the town just to shame them, to insult them, and they should not marry those people, Jews, Poles, and Russians. So this was a punishment for them, and they should only marry to the German Nordic Aryan. Further, opposition was not an option in the police state of Nazi Germany. Every German that survived between 1933 to 1945 in Nazi Germany did so because they were influenced by Hitler's Nazi ideology. So opposition was not at all there. The one who would oppose would be put behind the bars, or ultimately that person was killed. So no one dared to oppose Nazi Germany because the police state was so powerful. He made the police state so powerful. As Hitler believed that it was Germans' duty to assure the future of the German race, he made sure Nazi propaganda reached every German. So he wanted to make Germany pure Nordic Aryan Germany. There should not be any Jew, there should not be any Pole, there should not be any Russian or Gypsy over there. Only pure Nordic Aryan people should be there in Germany. And so that he used his propaganda of loan and awarding, and then expelling those kids and shaming those women who used to keep their relations. So all this propaganda was to make sure that Germany should be pure Nordic Aryan race. Okay, it was not good at all. partly influenced by Darwin's theory of evolution and Herbert Spencer's survival of the fittest theory, and partly influenced by his own hatred towards the Jews. So why he did so? Because he was influenced by Darwin's theory of evolution and Herbert Spencer's theory of survival of the fittest, and he also he was impressed or influenced by his own hatred towards the Jews. He did all these things. Hitler reasoned that Nordic German Aryans were racially superior and more likely to succeed and survive. So what was the ideology behind having Nordic Aryan race? Why? Because he thought that Nordic Aryans were racially superior and more likely to succeed and survive. So Jews, Poles and Gypsies, they were not at all superior, and they would not be successful in, they would not be able to survive if they were allowed to stay in Germany. So this was his reason. So Germany's racial superiority would secure Germany's future. So Germany's race should secure Germany's future. So Germany's race should be Nordic Aryan. 100% Nordic Aryan, and that is why he was behind that. So every person should be Nordic Aryan. Okay, he had already eliminated his political enemies, the communist. Okay, who were his political enemies? The communist. His economic enemies means the trade labor unions. He had eliminated them, and it was now time to eliminate his racial enemies, the Jews, Gypsies, blacks, Poles, Russians, anyone who is not a racially pure Nordic Aryan German. And so the systematic humiliation and pauperization of Jewish community began, leading to killing them of approximately 6 million European Jews. So he had already eliminated his political enemies, the communist. Okay, he had eliminated his economic enemies, the trade labor unions. Okay, and now he is now ready to eliminate his racial enemies. Racial enemies means Gypsies, Jews, blacks, Poles and Russians. So whatever way he found, he applied, and he did so. And he approximately killed 6 million European Jews just to make Germany pure Nordic Aryan race. Okay. This persecution of the Jews was an act of genocide at the period of 1933 to 1945, in which it was carried out. So this persecution means killing of Jews. This act was known as genocide. Genocide means killing of the Jews. Okay, at the period of 1933, between the period of 1933 to 1945, it is referred to as Holocaust. So this genocide was ultimately known or referred to as Holocaust, where the Jews were killed, and he carried out all these activities of killing in 3 stages. Stage 1 was exclusion, stage 2 was ghettoization, and stage 3 was annihilation. So let us study what is stage 1 towards the killing of Jews. Stage 1, exclusion, means to exclude Jews, to remove them. The persecutions at genocide were carried out in 3 stages. Stage 1, exclusion, between 1933 to 1939. I'm so sorry, it has become 2939. It's not that. From 1933 to 1939, exclusion took place. Okay, Nazi German shops, restaurants and political rallies freely distributed anti-Semitic propaganda to ensure that Jewish business and services were boycotted and their properties were either confiscated or forcibly sold off. In this way, Jews were excluded by not allowing them to do any business, by not allowing them to do any service. And this is how financially Jews were made helpless and poor, and they were not allowed in any they were not allowed in any shops, restaurants and political rallies. In this way, their rights were confiscated and their properties were forcibly sold off. exclusion. Then Jews could no longer work in government or armed forces. They couldn't marry non-Jewish, and even quarter and a half Jews were no longer citizens of their own country. Often their houses were attacked and synagogues were burned. Synagogues means a religious place where Jews they go. It's like a church, okay? So synagogues. So these places were burned, their houses were burned. Jews, they had no right to do the service, they had no right to do the business. Their all rights were taken off, their properties were sold forcibly, and this is how the exclusion periods took place between 1933 to 1939. After stage 1 came stage 2, ghettoization. Ghettoization it was carried out between 1940 to 1943. Jews were further isolated. Ghettoization means isolation. First it was exclusion, then now isolation from German society. Now in the society also they didn't have any place. They were forced to live in only ghettos in the Genera government area, which comprised of German occupied Poland. The area of Poland which was occupied by Germany, in that place a ghettos was built, and there these Jews were forced to live. They had to wear a yellow star of David, and a letter J was marked in their passport. So they had to wear a star. In the second image you can see each and every person is wearing a belt on their arm. That is the yellow thing, okay? On that that is the yellow star, and it was the yellow star of David, and there was a letter J. J means Jews, okay? And it was also marked in their passport. Since Jews could not work as doctors and visit German doctors, the ghettos were infected with disease. Jews were not allowed to go to any doctor. Jews were not allowed to become doctors. So the ghettos, where the place where the Jews were stuffed in, was all infected with diseases. Okay, Jews who survived were transported in goods trains to concentration camps. After ghettoization, after being in ghettos, these Jews were transported to concentration camps through the goods train, okay, for the final step, or as Hitler called it, the final solution. From there they were taken to concentration camps, and in the concentration camps where the final solution was applied. What is this final solution? This is a code language used by Hitler. So what is this final solution? Let us study. After that comes the third stage, that is annihilation. Annihilation, where prisoners, men, women and children were brought mostly to Auschwitz. What is this? Auschwitz, the largest Nazi concentration camps in the world. Auschwitz were the largest Nazi concentration camps. There these people from ghettos were brought. Okay, it was located in the Nazi occupied Poland. It was also located in the Nazi occupied Poland. Then without warning, they would be asked to take a shower inside a big room where shower nozzles were there on the ceiling. So they were taken inside the Auschwitz concentration camps, and they were asked to take shower. आपको नहाना पड़ेगा. Okay, it was told to them. And in those big rooms in the Auschwitz buildings, okay, the shower nozzles were there on the ceiling. But it's not BU, it's but instead of water, they would be drenched with cyanide pellets. You can see the Auschwitz gas chamber. It was like that, and people were brought over there, and they were asked to take shower, and instead of water, they were drenched. They were made wet with cyanide. Cyanide is the poison, I should say the worst poison in the world, which kills the person immediately. So they were drenched with that. These Nazi gas chambers killed 20,000 people each day. 20,000 people each day were killed in these concentration camps. The Jews were not only the people put to death. Hitler was so determined to make this pure race fantasy come true that he forcibly gathered the Germans who were physically and mentally challenged, unwell, or anyway abnormal. So not only he killed the Jews, but he also killed the people who were physically and mentally challenged, unwell, or anyway they were abnormal. So those people were also killed in these Auschwitz gas chambers or concentration camps. So this was carried out under Nazis' euthanasia program. And then finally on 19th May 1943, Germany was declared clean of Jews. So finally on 19th May 1943, Germany was declared clean of Jews. Not a single person you would find over there who was a Jew. Okay, Hitler had achieved his Nazi policy of creating a racially pure German state. So finally he had achieved, but he killed so many people. Not good. Cleverly code words were used to convince the people that all of Hitler's ideas were actually theirs. In addition to that, these terms disguised the immorality of the acts the Nazi regime was carrying out. So finally the people were killed, but they didn't know that they were supposed to get killed by the Nazi regime, because the code words were used in front of them. Code words such as special treatment, euthanasia, final solution, disinfection areas. So these were the code words. Words actually kill and murder were not at all uttered in front of the Jews. For instance, words like kill, murder were never used in their official communication. These code words were used. See, instead, mass killings, it termed special treatment or final solution to the Jews. Mass killing was not used. Instead of mass killing, special treatment or final solution, these words were used to kill the Jews. Okay, then when the physically or mentally challenged were eliminated, it was called euthanasia, which means good death. So eliminating physically or mentally challenged, this term was not used. Elimination of means killing of these people were not used. Instead of that, euthanasia, this term was used. And evacuation meant deporting people to gas chambers, which were called disinfection areas. So where this cyanide was used to kill people, that gas chamber where it was called disinfection area. Disinfection area was a code word for evacuation, for killing these people. So special treatment, final solution, euthanasia, gas chambers, and disinfection areas, all these code words were used to kill the Jews and physically and mentally challenged people. The Third Reich of Dreams by Charlotte Beradt was a book that captured the dreams that ordinary German Jews had about Hitler during the Holocaust. So the Third Reich of Dreams, this is a book written by Charlotte Beradt. In this book, it is the book where the German Jews, okay, who had suffered from the Holocaust, genocide, ghettos, exclusion, annihilation, and killing, their ideas of the Holocaust are mentioned in this book. How Hitler applied all the harsh ways to kill them, everything is there in this book. This is the book which is the evidence of the Hitler's harsh policies. It explains the subconscious levels at which the Nazi regime was operating. Though the Jews were eventually killed, they died a million deaths before the final solution. So ultimately Jews were killed in the final solution. Before that, they died millions of deaths. They were not leading their normal life in the exclusion camps, in the concentration camps, in the ghettoization. Okay, they died there several times. Jews made many efforts to write and record their experiences in the ghettos and concentration camps. When ghettos were emptied, They placed their documents in milk cans along with other containers and buried these cans in the cellars buildings in 1943. These documents were discovered in 1950. They secretly used to write their experiences when they were in the ghettoization, the experiences of harsh behavior of Hitler. Why they used to write secretly? Because immediately those papers were torn and those evidences were removed from there. So secretly they used to write, and they put all those papers in the milk cans as shown in this figure, and they buried these milk cans under the cellars or in the buildings. They knew that they were going to die, but someone should know someday that what kind of behavior they got from the Hitler. So these milk cans were discovered in 1950, and that time the world came to know what harsh policies these people had gone through. Now, aftermath of World War II and short summary of Nazi Germany. We have come to an end of this chapter. Aftermath of World War II. World War II, this time it was evoked by Germany, because Germany invaded Poland and it forced other countries to participate in it. So what happened? When the bloodshed finally ended in 1945, that means in 1945 when World War II ended, the Allied powers demanded justice for the defeated Axis powers, especially Germany. From the defeated Axis powers, especially Germany. So these Allied powers, they demanded how the peace treaty of Versailles was signed by Germany. In the same way, this trial was set up to have the justice from the defeated the Central powers or Axis powers, especially Germany. Tribunal was set up in the German city of Nuremberg to persecute Nazi leaders and punish them for their crimes. So this tribunal was set up in Nuremberg to have the hearing what had happened in World War II and how it was not good, how it had damaged the surrounding countries and everything, what all damage had done by Germany. So because of that, Germany was again held responsible, and this time it was responsible, and Nazi leaders were punished for their crimes. So Adolf Hitler was not tried as he had committed suicide on 30th April 1945, a month before World War II ended. So Adolf Hitler, he was not tried at all because he had already suicide. He had committed suicide on 30th April 1945, 1 month before World War II ended. But 12 other leading Nazi generals were sentenced to death by the tribunal. The tribunal, which was set up in Nuremberg, they punished these 12 other leading leaders of Nazi regime to sentence to death. Okay, and Adolf Hitler, he committed suicide. The Nuremberg trials speak of countless crimes committed by Adolf Hitler and his Nazi government. Besides invading foreign countries, the Nazi government tortured and killed 6 million Jews, 200,000 gypsies, 1 million Polish civilians, and 70,000 mentally challenged Germans, all in an effort to keep Germany only for pure Germans. So all these crimes were done by the Nazi Germany and ultimately Hitler. Nazi Germany is, now we are going to revise once the terms, and we are going to sum up with this lesson. So Nazi Germany's efforts to eliminate the Jews and communities were referred to as genocidal crimes. The term genocide, discovered in 1944 to describe the act of destroying a community based on nationalism, racism, religion or ethnicity. The term was accepted by the United Nations on the international law after Nazi war criminals were persecuted at Nuremberg. So this word genocide was accepted by United Nations after these Nazi war criminals were persecuted at Nuremberg. So genocide. And the genocide committed by the Nazi Germany between 1933 to 1945 is referred to as Holocaust. It overlapped with Hitler's ambition to conquer the world by sparking off World War II. The effects of both these events reverberate through the world even today. Even today, when people think of World War II, genocide, Holocaust, and whatever crimes done by Hitler and the Nazi regime, still it has goosebumps on us when we think of it. So in this way, Hitler, he tried to make Germany powerful, but he applied the not so good ways to be the powerful country in the world. So Hitler, we can call him the dictator. He was the dictator. He tried to rule over Germany, and he tried to rule over the world with his command, his harsh policies, and whatever he did in his life. So this is all about Germany, the Nazi, and the rise of Hitler. I hope you have understood the chapter. Please go through all these 5 parts of the videos, read the chapter, mark the important points in the textbook and the refresher as well, and try to understand it in a better way. Give the likes give your likes for each video, so that I would come to know who has watched the video. Thank you.